Hey guys, and welcome to Disney WTF, coming to you from Sunroom Studios. And my name is Richie. I'm here with my partner in good deeds, Lori. She's a Disney lover, and I'm just a regular guy who just doesn't get it. So we're here to talk what's the fuss about Disney.
All right, I like it. Let's do it.
I nailed that one. That's a blueprint. That's gonna be the blueprint for a long time to come for our intro.
So I also want to welcome new additions to our podcast.
Just keep going.
I want to welcome new additions to our podcast. We have new recording equipment, so hopefully the sound is a little bit clearer for everyone. It was a mess trying to get it up and running, but I know Richie's very excited about it.
It was. I hope you guys like the quality sound here. It's sounding real good. We're having some video difficulties, so this might not go on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's only going to be on...
I showered for this to just not go on YouTube.
Yeah. I had to put on pants.
Just kidding, guys. I shower every day. Okay, so I'm really, really excited about today's episode. Not that I'm not excited about every single episode, but today is a really, really big deal. So I'm just going to go over it one more time.
Okay.
So it's the official Disney fan club run by the Walt Disney World Company.
Cool.
And so a lot of the membership includes newsletters, gifts, promotions, things like that. But every 2 years, they hold a convention where it's widely known that the Disney company makes huge announcements at this convention.
Okay.
So that was just held in Anaheim, California, which, fun fact, in the past, they have held it at Tokyo Disney.
The D23?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome to go to.
I know, that was in 2013. But anywho, let's talk about the present. So there was a ton of announcements that were made at this expo. And they do have speakers and things like that in booths at the convention. It's like going to any other convention as well. Mm-hmm. They confirmed some of the things that we've talked about on previous episodes. So Ratatouille ride going into the France Pavilion at Epcot.
That's official.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tron roller coaster happening at Magic Kingdom next to Space Mountain. Mm-hmm. Official.
Cool.
A lot of what we saw that was announced from the expo was kind of out with the old, in with the new, which, depending on the Disney fan, they're going to be happy about it or they're going to be kind of bitter about it. And I know I have some mixed feelings.
So now, speaking of like out with the old, in with the new, I feel like recently, I don't know if it's because I'm paying attention more now, but I just feel like there's a ton of changes happening. Is that normal for every D23, or like it's just kind of like a big, change in the way Disney's doing things? Or
well, it's funny you mentioned that, because when I was reviewing all the news, I feel like this year a lot of change was announced, and a lot of it is ongoing change that was happening to the parks previously, and they're just kind of telling you more details about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, for instance, Star Wars Land going into Hollywood Studios, we knew that was going to happen, but the model was just released for what that land is going to look like, and it looks crazy. So, it's one of those things where the convention always has a ton of things that are going on. But I really feel like this year, a lot of change was announced, like for better or for worse. But I mean, at the same time, it's like Disney keeping up with the times. I mean, with any company, you can't just rely on old tricks. You have to innovate and keep up with other people in the field. Mm-hmm. So I do want to review just a few things of the announcements. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's do it.
That I learned that were kind of shocking to me. Shocking.
Headlines.
I know. Headlines. Shocking, but not shocking. So the Great Movie Ride. So it's the ride in Hollywood Studios where you are in a big car with a ton of other people and you're going through a journey through the movies. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you remember that ride by chance?
No.
Okay. So you're going through all these different scenes in great films. So they go through Indiana Jones, they do one through Alien, and it's really nostalgic, but it's also very like low technology. It's not like a super exciting ride, but people who love Disney love this ride because of the nostalgia they feel when they ride this ride. Okay. But they're actually taking it out. They're replacing it.
With what?
They're going to put in the very first Mickey themed attraction. Well, ride attraction.
Wait, they've never had a Mickey themed ride?
Shocking.
No, but I wonder if that's like on purpose. Like, I wonder if that's, you know, would have been Walt's want. Because you would think if there'd be a Mickey ride, Walt would have been the first one to be on that and make sure that was a thing.
Well, I mean, here it is. I mean, I guess with the old thing that Walt is Mickey, it's kind of like putting a piece of Walt back into Hollywood studios.
I'm a little, I don't know how I feel about that. And the reason is because something tells me that he didn't want Mickey to be a ride. Yet, if you think about it, the entirety of Disney is represented by Mickey.
So it's like putting the signature #1 thing into the park.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been done before, which is very interesting. And they're describing it as a 2.5D attraction where it's going to have 3D technology without having to wear 3D glasses. So I think that's going to be a super interesting way to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wonder, it's going to get crazy, but I wonder when Disney's going to start introducing AR, like, to their...
What's AR?
Augmented reality. It's basically, so Pokemon Go, remember that? Mm-hmm. So you know how you would look through your phone and you would like look around and you would see like, you know, inside the phone you see Pokemon Land, but it's based off of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. Augmented reality is basically virtual reality, like either in glasses or contacts or a mask, and then augmented with what you can see outside. So there's a possibility that like Disney's event, well, not a possibility, I guarantee you at some point Disney, you know, maybe it might be like 5 or 10 years down the line, mm-hmm. they're gonna have some way to incorporate either VR or augmented reality in the rides that you do there. But it sounds fairly similar to like on the way to augmented reality, being that it's some sort of 2.5D or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's they've had 4D in the past where they incorporate like, oh, you get wet when there's water splashing off of the screen, mm-hmm. and things like that. But I mean, at this point, like at the time, of course, that was very, oh my goodness, look, I'm seeing water in this 3D movie, mm-hmm. and I get splashed also. Like that was kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. But now it's just, you know, it's something that's been there, it's been around. Other parks have already been doing it.
There's a helicopter. Let's let that pass over. Okay, I think the plane's gone.
It was a helicopter.
Or a helicopter, yeah.
You said it was a helicopter. Okay, so yeah, I think that a lot of the announcements that are happening do incorporate this integration of technology. And so, I mean, we'll only see where that takes us, of course, in the upcoming, 3-4 years, to see where Disney's going to be at that point. But another big announcement, the Universe of Energy, which, I mean, we already kind of knew this was happening. The Universe of Energy in Epcot is going away.
What, the Universe of what?
The Universe of Energy. So it's the ride that has Ellen in it. Ellen DeGeneres, mm-hmm. and you go through prehistoric times and you're discovering like energy and things like that. And it's being replaced with a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So that whole pavilion is going to turn into a Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Which is the, I don't know, which is the ride that Ellen's on? You see Ellen or you just?
Mm-hmm. So it's...
I've never been on that ride.
I think you have. Maybe you just don't remember. Mm-hmm. But it's where you go into a theater and you see Ellen, and she's on a Jeopardy ride, She's in Jeopardy in a dream, and then she has Bill Nye the Science Guy, and he's her neighbor, and then they go through the universe of time.
Oh yeah, I've never been on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it's being replaced. It's another classic kind of thing. It's a long ride. It's 45 minutes of air conditioning, basically, for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And they are doing away with it and doing Guardians of the Galaxy. So we'll have to see where that goes as well. Personally, I'm not, and I hate to say this, especially recorded, but Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
That movie was amazing.
I don't know. I don't particularly... Action movies are not my thing, maybe is what it is. But I think that it was really long and it was a lot of fun things to watch. Is it one of my favorite movies that I would watch over and over and over? Probably not. If it was on TV, I probably wouldn't watch it. I'd much rather watch, Cinderella or something, but that's just me. But it's cool because Marvel really hasn't been incorporated thoroughly into the Orlando parks up until now with a big bang. So this is going to be pretty cool. Big bang, and it's replacing the Universe of Energy. That's kind of funny.
Wait, Marvel is Disney?
Marvel is now Disney.
Okay.
And when Marvel used to be at Universal, but it's not, and there used to be these rules about how it couldn't be incorporated east of the Mississippi until X date, and like a ton of rules that went into the contract. But now Marvel is going to make a huge presence in Walt Disney World.
What else is Marvel? You know?
Spider-Man, X-Men.
And that's all Disney?
Now it's Disney.
Because that's all in Universal.
Spider-Man?
Are you sure?
I think Spider-Man is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
So that's going to be pretty cool to see the evolution of. Another thing that's going away, much to my disappointment, it's going to be replaced. A new video is going to be incorporated into the China Pavilion at Epcot.
Like it's going to replace the whole thing?
Well, it's going to, there's still going to be a video, but it's going to be a new video. And I don't know. That soundtrack is one of my favorite soundtracks to listen to, just at home on YouTube. I can probably recite the whole script off of it, but I can definitely see that because China has evolved a lot in the past 20 years or however long it's been since that movie was replaced. And so probably a lot of the vistas, especially of Shanghai, have changed, and it's going to be awesome, I'm sure. And we can always relive it through YouTube.
It'll always be there because of YouTube.
There. It will be. So another thing that came out of this is the announcement of new resorts. So it's not just going to be in the parks, it's going to be all over the property. So there's going to be a new hotel that's going to be built called the Riviera Resort, and it's going to be for the Disney Vacation Club, which is like their timeshare program. And so that's going to be built. Even more importantly, there's going to be a Star Wars themed resort built at Disney World.
Oh, I thought on Facebook that they're going to have like it's like a full Star Wars experience. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. Toy Story Land is said to be completed in 2018, so we can look forward to that. And there's also going to be, and this is kind of huge news, a new cruise ship built. So
I wonder how long that takes to build a ship
and transport it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, how many houses is that?
Is it going to be, did it say, what's the details on the new boat?
Didn't see many details as of yet. But, I mean, you think about it, it's like building a hotel, but also having to make it float and have an engine.
And a bunch of other...
And a captain.
And a bunch of other, like, activities. Like, because don't they have, like, slides and stuff like that?
They have everything, yeah. They have slides, restaurants, they have bars, you know. They have everything that you could possibly think of, shopping, all on this ship. So it is pretty crazy. And that was announced that it's going to be built. Crazy. So originally, today's topic was going to be about transportation. And Ricard, this was your idea. Why did you want to learn more about Disney transportation?
Well, because I'm assuming because it's Disney, there's, supposed to be magical things about the transportation. So I wanted to see, like, if, there were fanatics of transportation, if, people went to Disney to experience the transportation, and then you had also mentioned that there's like transportation outside of the parks and there's also transportation inside of the parks. So I'd like to know what's the fuss about that.
So it's pretty funny that you wanted to talk about transportation for when D23 was going on, because they announced two big things at the D23 Expo. And I'm going to save the one that I think you're going to really, really appreciate for last. So the first one is going to be a gondola system. And so it's almost like, they're calling it the Disney Skyliner.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to attach resorts to each other. and the resorts to the parks. So you think about like a gondola that you take up when you're skiing.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
Smart. I like that. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
And they say that it's going to somehow incorporate Disney characters with you. So who knows what kind of crazy cool technology they're going to have within each of the gondola cabs.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty interesting. It'll also relieve a lot of congestion that can happen on the Disney roads, which they can get kind of congested depending on the time of the year.
It's slow though, but it's cool because I guess you can like, bask in the views more of Disney.
But it's funny that you say like it's slow and that you can bask and this and that, but they're incorporating technology. So more than anything, it's probably going to be not just a way to get around, but it's going to be like a ride. Like how a ride is inside the park.
Like, yeah.
Which, of course,
smart.
we don't know exactly what the detail is right now, and I'm sure more will come out eventually, but yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's
I'm
smart.
looking forward to it. And it's going to, the resorts that I saw that it's going to connect are Pop Century, Art of Animation, and Caribbean Beach. So, and then eventually they'll probably incorporate a lot more. Yeah. So, very, very exciting.
Cool.
The next announcement about transportation that was made at D23 was a minivan. You love minivans.
I do like minivans.
But this minivan is not just going to be like the standard minivan. It's going to be like a minivan, air quotes, where Minnie Mouse is going to be the theme of this van. And it's going to be an Uber-like service.
Oh.
That people can pay for to get around the resort.
That's interesting. When you say Uber-like, it'll be like an app and you demand it and it comes pick you up, or is it like you have to call and set it up?
I'm not sure about that. The only details that I read are that it's going to be like an on-demand ride service like Uber.
Gotcha.
And that you have to pay for, of course.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
They announced prices. They said it's going to be like $20 a ride to get from, only 2 resorts are doing it right now, the Boardwalk and the Yacht Club, and that you can go to different areas of the whole resort.
I mean, I get the play on words on minivan, but I think they should also make a Mickey van also. Like, the minivan could come in both Mickey or Minnie. Like, you should be able to request that.
But you don't have an Uber and an Uberta, You just have Uber.
I know, but still, I get it.
And I think it's a cute play on words.
Yeah, it is. No, it's really smart. I would have never thought to do that. Like, someone should get a raise for thinking of that idea.
They probably thought of it like in the shower or something.
Yeah.
Minivan.
Yeah. Mini. That's true.
Duh. And then they were like, why haven't we done this before?
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah. And you know what's interesting also about the minivan? The actual vehicle that they're using is a Chevy. And Chevy sponsors already...
Test Track.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They already sponsor Test Track.
I wonder who came up with it, if it was Chevy or Disney that came up with that. Because it benefits them both equally, so I'm wondering if, like, whose idea it was. Like, who got the raise for the idea?
Was it somebody in Chevy or was it somebody at Disney?
Yeah.
Probably both. I bet 2 people got raises.
I don't think so.
It was just the one.
Yeah.
So these 2 ride or transportation systems are really, really going to enhance already the Disney transportation around the resort, because as of now, there is a lot of contention that goes on with Disney transportation, because the idea is that Disney wants to make sure people stay on property. And one of the ways of doing that is to say, you don't need to rent a car. What we can do for you is pick you up at the airport in Orlando. We can drive you to your resort. Don't worry about your bags. Your bags will be in your resort room. And then after that, you can take the Disney bus transportation system around the resort. So the idea is so that you don't have to leave property at all. But the problem is buses are slow. Buses have had very scandalous accidents in the past. Like, it's pretty crazy to see, if you were to Google the number of accidents that have happened with Disney bus transportation. Like, it's not like 1 or 2, it's like several. And I think somebody even got hit by a Disney bus in the past. So, I mean, it's not great. Yeah. But there's a lot of complaints that go along just in terms of the bus system, and that's what we're talking about. Because people don't find it very convenient to get around because you do have to wait in long lines to get on a bus. And then if you're at the end of the day trying to go from Magic Kingdom to All-Star Resort at the end of the night, you might have to wait for one bus to leave and then for another bus to come and pick you up because the line was so long.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly the best thing right now. And I'm sure a lot of people would just prefer to have a rental car just for the ease of going back and forth to and from wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
But for those who don't want to rent a car, they don't have to. You know, you could literally take a bus from All-Star Resort, let's say, but you want to have dinner at the boardwalk. You can take a bus from the resort to, you know, the boardwalk. I think you probably have to go somewhere else though in order to do that and make like a connection. Mm-hmm. But the possibility is there. It just takes a long time.
Yeah, because you have to wait in line. I remember we had to wait in line once for a ride. I don't know where we were. I think we were at Magic Kingdom or something that we had to like wait for the bus. Yeah.
Yeah. And so another way you can get around is the monorail system. So I know we associate, like, at least you and I ride the monorail mostly to get to Magic Kingdom from the parking lot. Mm-hmm. So you can ride the monorail from any of the resorts that are on the monorail loop, which is what it's called, which is Contemporary Resort, Grand Floridian, and Polynesian. Mm-hmm. So those are deluxe resorts. So you can do that if you're staying at one of those. Or you can take it also from Magic Kingdom to Epcot, which we haven't done in the past. So you don't, if you're staying on one of those.
Why haven't we done that?
Just because it's more convenient to go to Epcot straight up, you know, with our car.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's one of those things where Disney tries to make it so that things are connected and you don't have to rely on a rental car to get around. Although it does seem like they're finding that people want more direct ways to get to areas within the property by incorporating this mini van. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So the monorail loop is actually pretty iconic. What you do, I mean, obviously the monorail, there's a whole day dedicated to them on Instagram, Monorail Monday.
Yeah.
And it's my brother. So something that I really wanted to do, and I think maybe we can do this the next time we go, is doing the monorail bar crawl. So you go into a bar at every resort on the monorail.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
The monorail, has it always been like a, you know, I don't know, pastime or like has it always been like a big thing, like the monorail? Or has it, like, as you were experiencing Disney for your whole life, or has it like slowly been to become a more important like aspect of Disney?
Well, the monorail, I think, has always held the same level of importance. Like, it's always been very important because the monorail is fast. You don't have to wait around a long time for a monorail. Like, even if you have to wait for like one or two of them to get to you, I think that it's one of those things that's reliable. Although the monorail has had accidents too, which is kind of crazy. And apparently, like a couple weeks ago, a piece of a monorail just fell off and they had to evacuate.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah,
but when you say
scary.
Accidents, what has happened with an accident on a monorail?
Two monorails have collided before.
Oh my God.
Like, the word collide is very scary sounding, but I think it was just like
they like bumped into
like
each
a
other.
Love tap.
Yeah.
It's like, hi monorail blue, I miss you.
All right, so I guess what I also do want to ask though is, like, for example, so Monorail Monday. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we've kind of seen on Instagram that like people love the monorail, but has that type of love for the monorail been around since you've always been going to Disney, or has that been something new that you've kind of seen?
Oh no, the monorail has always been popular.
Okay.
Ever since I was little. I mean, even so myself, I loved riding the monorail because it was so cool. The monorail goes through a hotel. It takes you around, and it's like this long train. And at least in Florida, there's not a lot of reliable monorail systems that you can take, so it's kind of like a novelty too. It's not just getting on a subway to go somewhere. It's riding the monorail. It's an experience.
Gotcha.
So, which is why it's emblemized in Christmas decor.
Yeah.
As well. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of transportation was the tram. So the tram that you take from the parking lot to the parks.
Okay.
How do you feel when you ride that?
Is that what you're considering Interpark like transportation, or is that something different? Okay.
Like intra park. Yeah.
Intra park. So it's fun. I like it. I like the guys. Like they have fun jokes sometimes. The drivers. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Yeah. But sometimes we end up walking. Like
I know.
Sometimes I'm not sure if it's really needed, but.
You see, that's the thing. Like I go back and forth, like because the tram is. It's one of those things that when you get on it, you get the anticipation of like, oh, we're about to go to the park. Mm-hmm. We're about to have so much fun. We're going to go to the entrance. We're going to go to bag check. Yes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like it's not something that you have to do. You can walk, but a lot of people probably don't want to walk because it's can be kind of a journey, especially when you're walking all day.
Where you park. Depending on where you park.
Crop dusting everybody. Yeah. Psst, psst, psst. Anyways, but I mean, the reason why I think the tram is important, like not just to help people get to their car and from their car, but it's because it's that beginning of the day or winding down of the day where you can just take a nice leisurely ride on the tram, have the breeze in your face, and just it's something that I enjoy doing, although we don't do it all the time. But it's like you get that feeling of getting ready to have the best day ever, no matter what.
The only thing I don't like about the tram is I often smell like fumes.
Like from the engine?
Yes.
Not from other people?
No, yeah, from the actual tram itself. Like I can legit like smell fumes. They need to fix those motors on there.
Or make them electrical.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be happening soon. I think they are going to make trams electrical. Tesla. I know they're probably going to have a partnership. Forget you, Chevy.
Yeah.
We're going with Tesla.
Oh my God, that would be so smart. Like that would be so smart because Tesla's changing the world with what they're trying to do with their technology. So it would be so smart if, like, Tesla and Disney somehow made some partnership to, like, help make the world better. Mm-hmm. While also being magical.
Well, Tesla's pretty magical. We did our first Tesla test drive not too long ago.
And it was like if Disney made a car.
It was pretty insane. Honestly, the day of the test ride, I was just like, oh, Richie, you can just go. All I want to do is stay home. But then after we rode it, I was pretty excited about it.
It's a good car.
Maybe one day we'll ride a tram at Disney World that's got a battery instead of a motor. Oh, wait, it has a motor. Just a battery.
Yeah.
Just to plug them in. Ooh, and the buses too. That would be interesting as well.
I mean, it's going to come. I mean, Tesla, again, it's like the horses and the cars thing. Like at some point, every single car and vehicle of movement is going to be electric. That's just going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, we'll see. So something that I neglected to mention a little bit earlier when we talked about the monorail is the ferry boat. Mm-hmm. And the reason why the two are interconnected is because from the Transportation and Ticket Center, where a lot of patrons of Magic Kingdom park, you have the option of taking either the monorail or the ferry boat. Some people think that the monorail is faster, although it's allegedly said that they take the exact amount of time, whether you're on the monorail or the ferry boat.
I wonder if they have like longer wait times though.
I think the monorail has a longer wait time.
And is that measurement of, once it starts moving, or is it like from wait to exit? I
think it's once it starts moving, the time that it takes you to get from Magic Kingdom to the TTA, which is what the parking lot's called, it is going to be the same whether you're on the boat or the monorail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to time that next time.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we definitely should. We'll take the monorail going and the ferry boat coming.
Use a stop clock.
And go.
Yeah.
Ooh, we can use one of those guns that fire into the air. But all that shoots out is a flag.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say, I don't want to get banned from Disney.
No.
For bringing guns in.
It's pre-metal detector.
Yeah, that's true.
Just kidding, Disney. We're not going to do that. So, yeah, the ferry boat. I think the ferry boat's a great option because you get to... Who doesn't love getting onto the water and just having the breeze in your hair? Or my hair. You don't have much hair.
That's correct.
But yeah, it's another option. And you know what? You can actually ride the boat system, not just the ferry boat, but boats to and from Magic Kingdom from individual resorts where you can go directly from them and to Disney Springs, actually. So like what was downtown Disney before, you can ride a boat to and from different types of resorts as well. So it's another way to get around. So if you're frustrated with the bus system, you can just take a boat.
Yeah, but which boats go like to Disney Springs? Like, is it like the ferry, or is it like?
So they're smaller boats. They look more like tugboats to me.
Are they like personal craft boats, like where you operate it yourself, or?
No.
So there's a driver of the boat, a captain that takes little like people.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, so there's a captain on each of them, and they load up a bunch of people, and then they go back.
Why don't we do that?
We can do that. We have to stay at the resort, though.
Fun. You have to stay at the resort, or can you just show up to the resort?
Well, you can just show up. I mean, that's...
And then go.
So let's just drive to this resort just to take the boat to go to wherever.
Correct.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
It's just in the name of experiments, you know. We could... I'm sure there's a more direct way to get there, but we can do that.
Okay. Because, we can do that in like the next visit that we make. If we're in blackout dates, we can do all these little things that are not park involved.
Yes, which that's definitely going to be something I want to show you, is how you can have a great time on property without going to the theme parks. Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome.
There you go.
Okay. So that's really all I got for Disney transportation. Mostly I was just super excited to talk to you about the minivans and the gondola rides.
Yeah, those are going to be cool
Game
things to look out
changers.
for. Did they say when they were going to start that, or no? Each of those?
No, let me see though. I have it says July 2017 for the minivan.
Oh,
and then the gondola ride.
Now.
I know. You're right. As we speak. And then the gondola is going to be a little bit later because they do have to build up the infrastructure for it. And so it looks like it's going to be unannounced at this point.
Unannounced.
So
okay.
We will find out.
Those are cool.
That's a picture of the gondola. I just showed Richie a picture of the gondola that's available on wdwmagic.com. Which, by the way, I do want to give a shout out to all the Disney news sites, the fan sites that have covered D23 so well, because if it wasn't for you, I would have none of this information, and I would just be like in the dark and very upset.
Nice.
So upset that I couldn't go to Anaheim.
I'm actually fairly shocked. I only heard about this D23 thing because I've been, obviously we've been going over a lot of Disney stuff lately, but I'm shocked that we didn't plan to go there.
I know. As much as we love California.
Yeah, we got to go to the next one.
But the thing is, if we were to go to D23, we would have to make it a huge trip because it couldn't just be, it would have to be Disneyland and California Adventure, which are the two parks there, because we've never been to those.
Is it, how many days is the convention?
It lasts over a weekend. I think it's
like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
3-4 days.
Oh, okay.
It might be longer actually, because so much information came out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But maybe next time.
Okay. Well, that is all we have for today. Make sure if you're listening to this on iTunes, make sure to subscribe, give us a rating, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. We're on YouTube. Subscribe. You can see all our other episodes on there.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate it so much, and we'll talk to you next time.